Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Rob. This is, I call her Mom, but you can call her Karen. And this is a new episode of Altuniverse Live. We're going to go about it a little differently this time. We will explain in just a minute. So without further ado, let's roll. Hey guys, it is Rob. This is one of the videos under the umbrella of the official Rob Glasser. We have multiple series. This one in particular is Altuniverse Live, usually a very nerdy and geeky style. However, we do have our other show that we do, Minding Your Mental Health, which covers some of the similar topics here. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to get our guys from that end to come here and vice versa. So if you haven't checked it out, my mom just put up the link to the audio at Spotify. So
it's also video, Rob. They can watch the video.
And video, that is true. I forget things sometimes. All right, so today we're going to talk about why music and nature makes you feel so good. And we talked about this before in other shows, and I'm sure we'll talk about it again because it's a very cool topic here. So first up, the question we have to ask you is, why does calming music make you smile or make you relax? Science shows that the neurobiology of the brain gets very happy when you see, hear, smell, eat, or do something that also makes you happy. So it's no surprise that when you put on a pair of headphones, pop in that YouTube concert that somebody taped, or, listen to a cartoon theme that you love, your brain is going to send the vibes, so to speak, that you want. So exploringyourmind.com, a really cool website with a bunch of different topics here, they have 10 benefits to relaxing music. Relaxing music, by the way, can be anything you feel like. If you're a fan of heavy metal, go for it. Just not near me. I'm going to stick to...
And I don't know how relaxing that is.
Pokemon and, those weird elevator songs that you hear in the,
Yeah.
Number one, it reduces stress. So I'm pretty sure I just answered that question before even starting this conversation. But yes, the biology behind your brain proves that when you hear something happy, you feel good. Right. So short of, having you play the piano for us, I'm sure though, joking aside, I'm sure though, when you did that or do that, it does bring you the good feelings of hearing it, playing it, and I'm sure you are de-stressed, right?
Absolutely. I mean, that's why I have music playing all the time when I'm in my office and working. I like to have music in the background because it does bring me joy. So it's a good thing for your mood.
There you go. What happened here? Oh, come on, computer. Let's go. All right, number two. My computer decided to change its page. Number two, the sounds of nature improve your concentration. So whale songs, those really weird videos of fishies swimming around and all you hear is like, boo, boo, boo. All of those things have been proven to improve what you're doing. As I can't concentrate now, improve your concentration. That's what I need whale songs in the background and fishy noises. Again, the site here doesn't say specifics, but for instance, they did give a example during a BirdLife focused Natura product. It showed that relaxing music with nature and animal sounds improves the concentration and performance in children with ADHD. So my guess is they probably put them all in a room. One room had no music, one room did, and they decided to see who was actually doing their work better. And it turned out the kids listening to the animal sounds got more done. And
Interesting.
were more focused on their job. So, a lot of times you go to like a dentist office, whatever, you do hear kind of whatever. Maybe that's the reason for it. I don't know.
Well, it's fun that you're saying that, Rob. As we've mentioned before, I use the Calm meditation app. And one of the things that it lets you do is set background noises or music. And one of them is nature, and the other one, the one that I have in my background, is the rain coming down. There's something very soothing.
That's a good one.
Of rain. So it helps. I mean, obviously it does help. The meditation apps actually include it as part of what they do.
A lot of times you see videos where, it's a cabin with rain falling and the occasional woo woo of the wind, So apparently people like that kind of thing. Number 3, it reduces a person's perception of pain. I didn't know this one. Listening to relaxing music after surgery improves patient recovery. It also makes this critical time more pleasant and less stressful. It explains that relaxing music lessens a person's sensation of pain because it produces more endorphins and strengthens your immune system all at the same time.
I did not know.
So, I don't know if they do that in hospitals or not, but maybe it's something they want to do. Maybe they start playing calming music in people's rooms and it helps. I don't know. But it is kind of cool. I mean, I think it all kind of falls under the same, moniker. Right. Number 4, and we've talked about this one before, it helps you sleep better. Some people use the calm apps like you, the music. I like the white noise, which is a similar type of music sound. Some people use it through the headphones. We have ours playing in the room. I didn't think anything of it. I just knew of white noise machines via you and via other stuff. Didn't really have any perception, but after using it, and we've had it now for about a year, it's now just kind of part of the thing. And I don't know what it is or why. Obviously, it's the brain doing its thing. Right. But somehow the white noise just kind of depletes everything else.
Maybe it distracts us. Maybe it distracts us from listening to the refrigerator door slamming or the cars outside, and the noise like muffles everything, the white noise, I believe, right?
That makes a lot of sense.
What is it like
and this one has different sounds. So there's the bigger fans, there's the smaller fans, there's wind, there's brown, black, and white. It's a whole slew of different versions of it. It all kind of sounds the same, but it does its thing. Number 5, improves brain functioning. So I think we're getting somewhere on this, right? It's not just the enjoyment, but it's actually helping you do something. So for example, they say playing an instrument as a kid helps your brain develop and actually improves your math skills as well, possibly because you have to learn the timing, you have to learn the finger, you have to learn the whatever. And it's almost like taking a vitamin for your neurons. So you're doing the hobby or doing the activity is actually growing your brain.
I had actually heard that musicians naturally were good math students because of that, because of the numbers, and you have 4 quarter notes equals a whole note. So literally it is math. But I'm here to say that even though
as the musician,
not so much. The math never kind of sunk in. So
apparently you're playing the wrong type of music.
I guess.
Instrument.
I don't know.
Number 6, your heart also appreciates it. Again, for people who are recovering from something, or for somebody who might have high blood pressure or maybe an increased heart rate, it actually proves to help rhythm your heart. So if you have an arrhythmia, you actually get fewer of them because the music is literally keeping your heartbeat kind of in time. I guess that makes sense because when you exercise, you do something upbeat, your heart is elevated. Obviously, it's because you're also exercising, but your heart is also moving with the tune. So that's kind of cool. Number 7, like they've already mentioned, more serotonin and endorphins. So we know that. Number 8, it helps you eat more attentively. So apparently we should be listening to music while we eat. Something as simple as relaxing music can help us eat in a more conscious, balanced, and healthy way. It helps us eat more slowly, recognizes that we're fuller to maybe help things like obesity or diabetes or other weight-related problems. And my favorite thing, you get to savor it more because you're actually enjoying your meal. So let's say you have, like, for instance, me, sushi's my thing. I already like it. But apparently, if I listen to music while eating it, I'll probably like it even that much more.
That's so interesting. I find that so interesting that there's a correlation to that. Wow.
Number 9, we know this one will help you meditate. And again, we've talked about this many, many times. The music, the no movement or the movement, depending. And number 10, it helps you study. So similar to showing that it helps concentration, well, those who might be studying in school, studying for work, or just studying, pop on some music and do your thing. So they say relaxing music. And again, I'll say whatever floats your boat. My opinion is I think it's more low key, mellow, maybe a fun song. Like, let's say you're really into 90s and a 90s song gets you in the mood. Sure. I don't think anything else really works, but that's just me. So
I like music without words because I
you
get
go.
distracted. Totally get distracted. I can't focus if I'm supposed to be reading with music in the background and the music has words, then I'm listening to the words and trying to figure out why the words are not on the page. I get confused.
You can listen to two cellos. That it's actually a group that plays cello, but they play popular music
I've
with
heard of
only
them.
their cellos.
They're
So if
awesome.
you want
They're
a popular
awesome.
song, but you don't want to hear the words,
Yep.
there you go.
Yep.
All right. So what music does for the brain, nature does for, well, I guess everything else, really, right?
Right.
Recently, obviously, we're all trying to do our thing and get out, but even minus the pandemic and all that, sometimes you're just not in an area that is accessible to places. By us, however, there are a lot of parks, there's a lot of outdoor hiking trails, but let's say you might be in a place like New York City, a place like New Orleans, or maybe downtown LA. It doesn't mean you can't get out and do the nature. You just might want to do it differently. So we're
Right.
going to talk about, and this is from the other website I put up, the APA, which is the American Psychological Association. They wrote an article. It's called "Nurtured by Nature." All right. So some of the cognitive benefits, really, were it helps improve your working memory. So of course we know there's two different versions. There's the passive and the working. Working memory, if my memory serves right, it's what you use on a regular basis and actually function and do your thing. So the fact that being outside, taking a walk, whatever, helps you continue to be prosperous, basically, not a bad idea. It helps your cognitive flexibility. Now, cognition is also another thing. It's kind of being able to do things. In this case, flexibility, I believe, means the ability to kind of like do more with it.
Right.
And
Right.
then lastly, attentional control. So if you are like me or you with ADD, this is going to help you kind of keep your thoughts more or less in line, or at least kind of organize all the craziness into little chunks. So it's not so crazy, it's just kind of mini crazies throughout the day.
Chunky crazy.
But there you go. So that came out of a couple different psych articles there. Let me get down to. Okay, so let me see. Next up, nature and happiness. So a college in Ohio, Oberlin College, one of the professors wrote, "Spending time in nature has cognitive benefits, but it also has emotional and existential as well that go beyond just being able to solve arithmetic
Right.
more quickly." To me, that quote states that nature is good to get the job done, but it's more important to make you feel good while getting that job done. Now, we joke, obviously, arithmetic is not our thing, but wouldn't you want to be able to do the arithmetic while actually kind of enjoying yourself doing so?
Well, that's why, I mean, when you were growing up, I don't think back in the dinosaur days when I was growing up, but when you were growing up, that exactly is what happened. There were groups that would put math things to music or spelling to
Oh,
music,
okay.
so that you would remember, or the states of the United States, all 50, and they put it in a song. So you literally would learn it by the music helping you to integrate it into your system. So there was some Schoolhouse Rock, I think, was one of the programs,
Oh, yeah, I remember Schoolhouse Rock.
and they would, and that's a great way. We learned our times tables. You learned your times tables, Rob, via a song, which I can't remember right now, but there was actually a song that you would sing, and you would memorize it that way. So it's music does have a place, I think, in everyday life.
So, speaking of a time frame between 1985 and 2003, research from 900,000 kids showed that those who lived in neighborhoods with more green area had less of a risk of a psychiatric or mental difficulty, including things like depression, mood disorders, schizophrenia, eating disorders, and substance abuse as well. Those with lower green space had a 55% higher possibility of developing. Now, again, these numbers don't base everything, but it does give you an idea of what it means as far as what the outdoors really actually does.
Right.
Now, experience versus connection. The question they ask is, with so many benefits linked to nature, how much time outside is enough? So I read this little thing earlier, and really the experience versus the connection, I don't think experience really has anything to do with being outside versus connection. I think to me, connection is more important than the experience. You can be outside for 5 or 10 minutes, and if you're enjoying the view, if you're enjoying the whatever, that's good. If you are out for 3 hours taking a hike, cool, also nice. To me, I think between the two that they did, I think it's more the connection because experience to me is more of like, can you do it? And yes, I know a lot of people aren't able to due to certain limitations, but everybody, for the most part, can connect even if they're doing it in a different pattern, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a funky little section there, but I figured I'd bring it up for a minute. All right, so then they talked about what they call green and blue spaces, and this was kind of interesting. So let's see. In a survey of 4,500 UK residents, this particular professor found that people reported more connection to nature after visiting rural and coastal than they did in urban green spaces. Now I get what they're saying. Okay, so if you were to go to, we talked about those gardens in LA, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would be an urban green space. You're really not necessarily in the midst of it. While you are outside, you're in the middle of the concrete jungle.
Oh, yeah.
However,
I was just going to say that concrete jungle.
right. That came to me from a book I think I read. However, if you take a trip to the beach, if you take a trip to, let's say, an island like Catalina or Hawaii, something like that, where you have real greenery out there, they reported that that kind of connection and that kind of outdoor space actually does much better than doing it for the city. Now, you might say, well, that's kind of rude to those who can't get there. And yeah, I can see that. However, and it might just be me, I notice the difference between the two. And I'm sure you probably would too. Like, if I'm going to take a hike, I want to take a hike. I don't want to walk around the block necessarily.
Right. Well,
like it's not that it's bad. I don't mind walking around the block, but if you say go out in nature, I want to go to nature.
And to that point, I walk every day with Christopher, and we tend to not want to walk on the sidewalks. Well, that's Christopher, but we want to be more on the nature side. We want to be where there's grass. Because the animals smell. That's kind of there's the way they think of something safe or not safe. They want to smell everything.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Right. And so we were walking down the sidewalk today, though, because all of the green here, everything was being watered. So we were on the sidewalk.
I got that weird, yeah.
Right. And so what happens is instead of having the smells of nature, which is the grass and the bushes and all, we have the fumes of the cars that were driving up the street. It's a different experience.
Correct. Yes. So really the three key points that they wanted to get out of this article were spending time is not only good for your cognition, but also your emotional well-being. Mm-hmm. Being connected to nature has similar benefits regardless of how much time you spend out there. And not only do you want a green space, but a blue space like the ocean, literally an aquatic environment. You want to get more of nature if you can. Again, unless you have, a passport around the world, you may not be able to travel everywhere you want to, but there's probably something within maybe 30 minutes of you that would be nature. Nature-y, I guess.
Nature-esque.
Nature-esque, sure. All right, so those were the topics at hand, and I think you want to get some good stuff to have with you, right? When you go out and do said nature walk.
So I'm going to share a screen right now.
Yeah, so she's going to pop something up. So this is some of our new gear that we have. As you can see, for the winter months, we have a new hoodie. We just put up our water bottle, which is awesome. We're going to make some ones with different logos. We're going to have one for Alt Universe, have one for Mind Your Mental Health, all that.
It's having
not
trouble.
Showing up on my end. Is it showing up on your end?
Not yet. We're having some connectivity issues.
Thank you, Internet Gremlins. There you go.
Thank you, Internet Gremlins. Let's try it.
All right, so we got that. We have our hoodie. It is, sort of winter. Oh, okay. There's the water bottle there. pretty cool. It's your typical stainless steel, but I think those things last. I mean, Krista has one from like 3 years ago,
Right.
and it's still usable.
It's a
So they're
thermos.
really well.
Yeah.
Not so much outdoorsy, but hey, if you're a griller, you want to grill in the backyard, what the hell? There you go. The
Exactly.
hoodie I think is great, especially when you do get cold. Because hey, just because it's cold doesn't mean you can't take a walk. So why not stay warm? You want to look fashionable. We got some of our bandanas. This is from our other episode the other day as well for your dog and you, or if you have a really big cat too, you can do that as well.
And lots of different designs. We have lots of different designs in here.
Right. And then what do we have? Okay, so one of our new T-shirts. I love it. They faded my logo. It looks really cool on there.
Well, that is cool.
It's kind of an old retro look on there, so it's really nice. I don't know if you can zoom in. Oh yeah, there you go. It kind of gives you a little retro vibe. So those are up there. We're gonna have more colors as well. So if you're not all black, you can get it. And then write about your experience being outside in one of our few journals we have. We have this one from one of our other episodes, Importance of Now. Pretty standard, but really cool. You know, we got these nice little designs. We got flowers and all that.
Love yourself.
And everything is fairly a good price, I think, on this site.
Yeah,
it's really good. It's all very good.
They have, let's see here. They have 140 pages in it, Rob. So it's very. I think you get a lot for your money. And
yeah, so you get one of those, and that thing will last you for a good time. And then when you need one more, come back, grab another one. Yep. And you know, holidays are here, so why not grab somebody something? Just an FYI, we will be adding more stuff. So just because it looks very limited, we had to revamp our store. So we're going to re-add everything else. So.
And if you have something you'd like to have one of the Altered Universe or any of the logos on, let us know. You know, if you're watching live or on replay, let us know what kind of stuff you'd like to be able to wear, because we can do all sorts of stuff. I mean, from coffee mugs to T-shirts to cool
we can
stuff.
even make you dog tags and kitty tags for your pets too, like literally.
Oh,
that's pretty cool.
That is.
Well, I might just do that for me, just to do it, because that's pretty neat.
You're going to get a dog tag for you?
Haha, very funny. So yeah, I think this is a good intro, not only to Altered Universe Live, but also to our Minding Your Mental Health show. So like we said, the first link we put up was the Spotify. So go check out. Spotify now lets you watch and listen. So if you want to listen, if you want to listen, if you want to watch, you want to do both, go for it.
Go for it. Way cool. And as always, we'd like to thank you all, because, you know, you have a choice where you spend your time. You chose to spend it with Rob and I today, and we are thrilled about that. Go out, give somebody an awesome day, and we're going to see you next time. Rob, I'm going to see you next time. Right? Right.
Probably see you more next week. So, you know.
Probably more next week. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.